India, though every clients want a Netflix quality, but the budget is low. How you maintain, how you handle those clients?
We have to explain to the client that listen, whether it's a restaurant video, corporate culture video, or a product video, there are separate niches of expertise required. And then we very clearly explain what cameras we will be using, what equipment.
You were in Microsoft. So how was the experience in Microsoft?
All my medical expenses, parents' medical expenses taken care of. They give you a gym, they give you every possible thing. Mutton biryani on a Wednesday. Everything possible that they give you to make sure that you are very comfortable there.
Being an employee and being an entrepreneur, what is the main difference between these mindset?
I feel sometimes just to get the best out of someone in a creative space, be their friend first.
Do you feel that entrepreneurship journey is a lonely journey?
It comes down so much on your mental state because every day you wake up, you have to have a particular pattern that you need to work by. Whatever happens in such a saturated industry, meet
Nikhil sir, welcome to the Founder's Dream. How are you, sir?
amazing. In fact, this is one of those moments where I feel things are making sense after all the 10 years of my work. So,
Okay, before starting the podcast, I have something in my mind. You are an engineer, right? And I'm saying if an engineer is not doing an engineering job, I'm 100% sure he is doing very fantabulous job like you.
fantabulous, I don't know, but yeah, everyone is trying some way or the other. We are all figuring it out.
No, but the thing is that if an engineer is not doing an engineering job, 100% he will do a very good job in other field.
Yeah. Okay, you can say that.
You'll end up on the new job, right? But one more thing, in 2010, 12, 15, there was one quote: if you are throwing one stone, it will fall down to an engineer.
In India.
In India. Now digital media marketing, production companies, it's like more than an influencer, there are production units are in India right now.
True.
If I'm not wrong, right?
True.
So sir, let's talk. Nikhil sir, why you have started this after doing an engineering?
Okay, first, just before we get into that, have you seen Slumdog Millionaire?
Yeah, I have seen.
So in the movie, everything that he has done in his life by chance or by his effort, somewhere it's all led up to that particular point where he's sitting across the table with Anil Kapoor.
Correct.
And he's getting all those answers just like that by a stroke of manifestation or luck. But for me, I feel everything that has happened in my life, even going to engineering, has been a form of manifestation. Going to Microsoft has been a form of manifestation. And me coming here and leading a team of so many creative professionals, it's all making sense now. Where I feel that if I had not gotten this experience in engineering or in my days in Microsoft, I wouldn't have probably been able to be the same way in as a lead of NJM Productions. Before that, I'll be honest, when I was a kid, I used to literally I liked the sound of NJM. So I used to write NJM Productions on my compass box and my mom used to beat me for it. So in school, and I used to write poems for everyone and NJM Productions was always at the end of my poems. So, and from there, I used to always be a daydreamer in school. I used to never be good in studies. And then from there, somehow I got a good marks in 10th standard. And that's why my mother said, please just do the right thing, do what everyone is doing. And I also decided just be safe, go for engineering.
So now, as per your experience, what do you believe? Like luck, hard work, which works?
It's a mix of both. You cannot pinpoint, but you have to recognize the luck at the right point. When you recognize this is
how to identify the opportunities. This is the main question.
There's a feeling. It's just that feeling that something good is going on. I can't explain it, but when you're in that zone that you're enjoying this phase, make the most out of it. It's like just strike when the iron is hot.
So Nikhil sir, I think you were in Microsoft and now you're in production. So that time you got one opportunity. How you identify this is good for me? Now in the production, how you find this is good opportunity for me?
Okay, I'll be honest. I did not do well in engineering also. I'm a computer engineer. I'm 2 years down. And just for some pocket money, I joined a call center. From being in a call center, I got my true exposure to a corporate culture. And that's when I saw that this corporate culture is amazing. That setup was amazing. I got that feeling of, you know, what it feels like to be in a corporate environment. And that's when I decided to give it my all. And Microsoft somehow was our client. So I knew when I saw that company that this is what I want to do. This is where I feel like I want to be there.
So how was the experience in Microsoft? What is the one good thing and what bad thing in Microsoft?
I had Tropicanas delivered to my desk. All my medical expenses, parents' medical expenses taken care of. They give you a gym, they give you every possible thing. Mutton biryani on a Wednesday. Everything possible that they give you to make sure that you are very comfortable there. And for 5 years, I was living that life, a very comfortable life. And in my head, I'm thinking, this is life. Settle ho gaya abhi. And somewhere I just realized, no, this is not your life. But I feel the biggest leap I took was to leave that job because I knew that this is not me. I did not want my life to just be in that 9 to 5 rut.
No, but what was the main turning point? Like what triggered you that time?
There was a point when I was working very efficiently, very smart. So I used to know how to get the job done and leave it. I was very efficient. But there was a point when I was a little sleepy. I thought I'll take a nap in my car, in the parking. So I went down. I went downstairs. I took I just shut the windows and I took a small nap in the car. And I set the alarm also, 1 hour nap. I woke up. I saw the alarm did not ring. And there were like 6 hours I had slept in the car. And first reaction is like, oh my God, what will my manager think? What will this thing? I checked my phone, not one missed call, not one email. No, I mean, there was no one even asking for me. And I was like, what am I doing here? I mean, even if I'm there in this company or not there, kisi ko kya farak padta hai? And that's when I felt that I'm here, I'm living one life. And I have my own identity also. And I just feel I need to make something more with my identity. I'm not just a case number. I'm not just a problem that you're solving and then bus case closed and next case. I'm not that. I'm something else. So I wanted to do something personal.
Who are you now?
I think right now I'm finally on my way to figuring it out because everyone is figuring it out. I know that you are also figuring it out. What this company has given me, this leap of faith that I took from Microsoft and to come here and experience every day is a different day. Every client to meet is a different client. Every interaction with your team, with your vendors, with everyone is so different, so original. And the human element is still there. And that's what I think life is all about. And that's what it should be. Because, when you zoom out of what you're doing, you see a clearer picture. Because sometimes when you're so into the rut of what you're doing, you're so focused in what you're doing. I'm sure you've read this book called Ikigai. It talks about, the best moments of your life is when you're zoned in. And that's what everyone should be doing, that they focus and their passion is so much that they are able to focus on something and everything. Time is not a picture. Nothing around them is a picture. It's what you and you're doing. Correct. So I was doing that all my 10 years. Finally, I've had the breathing space to zoom out to see that, okay, now it's time for a new chapter. So for me, I won't be really, I'm honestly not sure what this new chapter will be. But I'm very happy that this chapter has come to this full stop.
So it's an early retirement kind of thing.
No, it's not. Not like my partner is sitting right here and she'd hate me if I say that.
So you're not retired person as of now?
No.
Because
I don't think there's
on internet, everybody is searching how to retire in 40s.
In Japan, there are cab drivers who are still driving a cab at the age of 90.
But they don't say it's India.
Fine, but we should learn from them then. That in their dictionary, there's no such word only as retirement. You just enjoy what you're doing.
Acha, aapki company, right? NJM, right? It's a pseudo agency. What does it mean, sir?
So, there are creative agencies, something like Ogilvy. And they are the ones who take care of all the narrative, storyboarding, creatives. Then sometimes, or most of the times, they outsource the production to a production company. Production company is what? That they are the ones who handle the execution. They get the brief from the creative agency, and then they handle the complete execution.
Correct.
Small scale to large scale, they have the capacity to figure everything out. Location, recce, shooting, post-production, everything will be handled by the production company. But the vision and everything is met by the creative agency. A pseudo agency is what we decide on the narrative, the storyboarding, everything in terms of pre-production is handled end to end by us. We also take care of the production, but the production is also not in-house. We don't have a single cinematographer in our team. Everything is a vast network, highly vetted by us, all over the cities, like in Pune, Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad. So depending on the client location, we know exactly who to reach out to and what kind of project that they have, whether it's a restaurant video, whether it's a corporate culture video or a product video. There are separate niches of expertise required. So that's why we are the ones, as a pseudo agency, we are the ones who essentially do the groundwork of identifying these talents all over India. And we give the client the best to work with. If you're a restaurant owner, you need a video for your restaurant. When you get a food photographer, they get their own stylist also. But if you get an event videographer, he may not even know to get a stylist. But as you, as an owner of a company, you have a headache of who to hire. So we are taking care of that headache. So by onboarding all these people on our platform, we take video calls with them. We train them with our culture as to what our company is all about, how to handle clients. It's not just about expertise. It's about their soft skills. It's about their integrity. It's about their discipline. It's about their code of conduct, their professionalism. All that put together, we provide like everything coming from one umbrella.
I got it. थोड़ा back चलते हैं वापस. That car वाला scene. You were sleeping for 5 hours.
Right.
After that, what you have done?
Okay. After that, I put down my papers.
Immediately.
Like I said, the Slumdog Millionaire story, that at that same point, so my ex-wife, she gifted me a GoPro. And at that point, I just decided I need a vacation from all this heavy thought. So I went to Bali. And I had the GoPro on my chest the entire time. And throughout those 5 days, I was just enjoying myself. I got back and I was thinking, all this footage, what do I do with it? And I made a video of, it's a story of a person who's frustrated of his job, his life, and he finds his true calling in like on his trip to Bali. And I made a video on that. And the joy I got of telling the story and editing, and that feeling of editing that video, it gave me that ikigai moment. That I felt that this is it. This is what I want to do. So then I went to my manager, I put down my papers, and he was shocked out of nowhere. Like, this guy is just putting down his papers and he's like, are you sure you want to do this? So I said, you know what? I'd rather make the mistake of doing this rather than living with regret of never trying this.
So at that particular point, do you have enough money? Still, if you have 1 crore rupees, you can't survive in Bangalore. There are so many posts are going viral nowadays. See, if you are getting 1 crore rupees salaries as a CTC package, you will get 60 lakhs rupees in hand. That means 5 lakh rupees monthly salary you will get in hand. Okay, if you are getting 5 lakh rupees salary, then you will get a good house of 3 crore, 4 crore rupees ka. You will get a good car or at least 1 crore, 1.5 crore. So EMI will be around 2 to 2.5 lakh rupees. Again, 2 lakh rupees will be in your pocket. So the 2 lakh rupees into 12, that is 24 lakh rupees. You are living life for 24 lakh rupees for your kids, for your wife, for your protection money, whatever it is. Only the 24 lakhs.
So had I known all this, I probably would have not started. But to be honest, I don't think like that. Honestly, even right now, before coming to this interview, I'm thinking, my God, they will ask me about industry, KPI, metrics, and I don't know all those big numbers, names. I'm a Gujarati, by the way. I'm supposed to be knowing business. But honestly, I think all this time I have not done any real business. It's just me following my passion. With this passion only I've been going forward. So this, what you're saying now, all these numbers, if I had known all this, I would be like, yeah, maybe I'll just stick around in Microsoft and see where life takes me. But I think I live my life on my own terms. That's how I've always been. And in fact, everything, even right now, this this journey that I've taken with NJM Productions also, I feel like now it's time for me to try something new as well. So that's why I'm feeling that everything is a journey. Everything you take it in good stride.
Only journey.
I don't think about savings, investments. I do invest now because of so much advice I've gotten. But I just feel right now I'm okay, absolutely okay with having zero investments also. That's how I live.
But कैसे जिया जाए मतलब whatever life you are living right now, it's very मतलब easy to say कि यार I live my in my own terms. कैसे like how what should be the motivation? How much money should be in the bank account? Because आपको खर्चा करने से पहले देखना तो पड़ेगा ना कि बैंक में कितना पैसा है.
So, I've met many freelancers also that I've worked with. They come to Bangalore with literally nothing. And they know for a fact that they have this passion. They don't want to go for these jobs like tech-based jobs or IT-based jobs. They want to be a freelance photographer or a freelance videographer. They're living in a 1 BHK with very modest means, but most of the day they're outside the house, shooting, hustling. They're making taking all kinds of projects. And I'm seeing the hunger still in their eyes. 3 years, 4 years of even going one day after the other, they're still having the same hunger. And I don't know how that is. I learned that you cannot do one thing alone. You have to have a team to support you. It was building a website, building my social presence, getting the GST number, getting all these things in place to make sure that when I go there, I don't have to waste time in all those setting up. The moment I'm into this new place, I'm able to meet clients. I'm able to do what I really want to do because these things will slow you down.
Okay. Do you feel that entrepreneurship journey is a lonely journey?
Yes, absolutely. So the thing about entrepreneurship, it's honestly, it comes down so much on your mental state because every day you wake up, you have to have a particular pattern that you need to work by. At least my initial years, my one philosophy was whatever happens, even if you're feeling low or if you're feeling high, in such a saturated industry, meet one person new in this industry who's connected to the industry. Either he's a client or she's a client or a vendor or a freelancer. Meet someone new so that you're able to take in more insights. You're able to get a good landscape of what really you're dealing with. And then you sense, the more people you meet, you sense patterns. You are able to, your conversation changes, your style changes. And then that hunger also, it just, you keep becoming hungry for learning more about the market. And that's where I felt that that gave us the edge.
What is your biggest motivation?
My biggest motivation honestly comes from the reason why I left my company and started this new venture is because of storytelling. I feel that everything, in every small aspect that we do, there is a story everywhere. And I feel that it's our responsibility to tell the story in the most effective way possible so that people's lives can change.
Can you give an example for that?
Today's world, we see so many reels just keep going on Instagram and we keep scrolling, but we stop at a few things because our mind tells us that, okay, there's a story here. And that's what we feel that before, there were wedding films that everyone was making wedding films. And each wedding film has these larger than life, slow motion, cinematic shots. And the bride is looking beautiful. The groom is waiting for her and all these amazing larger than life shots. And maybe, yeah, a couple of good drone shots here and there, good slow motion. But then the viewer will lose interest. What we decided to do is tell the story as is. Imagine when she's getting ready, she's losing, the bride is losing her bangles and she's shouting for her bangles. Like, where are my bangles? And then the mother is asking, Arey, I left it here, you didn't see them. And then all that commotion is what will pack it up into one film. And then eventually, what happens in every wedding film? In every wedding, that the groom and the bride meet at the mandap and everyone is happy, everyone is celebrating. That's the normal pattern. So all those chaotic moments make sense. So that's the story that we tell in a very real, raw format. So when someone watches, they feel that they're part of the wedding.
In your entire life, who supported you the most?
The first person who I can think of right now who supported me the most was my ex-wife. She gave me the GoPro and she said, listen, I know you're living. She left also her town. I left Pune. She left Mumbai to come to Bangalore thinking we're going to be having a sorted life in Microsoft. But I left Microsoft So imagine she gave me the freedom and the peace of mind that if you have this passion, do what you want to do.
Every company
Runs by employees.
right?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
You were also an employee.
Yeah.
I was also an employee till 2021. Okay, and I was working in one startup. But now, being an employee and being an entrepreneur, what is the main difference between these mindset?
Yeah, that's honestly, I'll be honest, I did not do well there with this whole segregation of when to be a boss, when to be an employee, because I feel sometimes just to get the best out of someone in a creative space, be their friend first. And I would always be, I would always be wanting to be in everyone's good books. I would always want to, if they tell me have some demand or anything that they have, I would try to accommodate as much as everything. Like I would try to accommodate everything as much as possible. Most of the times it worked, this formula, but sometimes these things are taken for granted.
Achha, you also told about there are so many freelancers struggling and they are working very hard, right? So now you tell me that you already you have very good production unit and everything. You have grown super, right? So now, what common mistakes a startup is doing in their production unit, so they are not able to grow?
When there is a particular pattern that works for them, there's a comfort zone, and then they're very happy. And they're very happy with that pattern. कि अरे चल रहा है कि चलने दे. That's where most production companies or any company in the creative space, that will destroy them. Because, it's very easy to say कि अरे no, every day is a different day, you should reinvent the wheel. I'm not saying reinvent the wheel every day. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that remind yourself that why did you leave that 9 to 5 job? You left that 9 to 5 job not to come into another place where things are easy and okay. You've left that to come into the creative space to push the boundaries, to make some kind of impact. You have to remind yourself every day. So the problem with startups, at least in the creative space, is that once they think things are set, things are familiar, they will stay there and the progress will kind of stop, the learning will stop. And the second point is they avoid taking risks. I started when I got a call sometime to take a wedding film. At that point, I had never done a wedding film. I had never done a product film. I've never done a green screen shoot. So all these things, if you say I've never done it, that's it. That call will never come again. And the doors are closed. So you should learn. That's how you learn. That's how you learn to take weddings. That's how you learn to take product films, green screens. In fact, green screen, I remember for a party, I cleared up one complete room. I set up a green screen in my room with stands and everything. And I made all my friends dance in front of the green screen, telling them, oh, there's going to be a nice music video. It was a Christmas music video I made. And for me, it was a very selfish reason. I just wanted to test the green screen. I just wanted to see if this is, and the moment that happened, I swear in just, I think a week or 2 weeks after that, I got a call. And my suggestion was, why don't we try a green screen for this? And I had the confidence. My delivery to the client changed because I knew I had the confidence I've done this. This will work.
So I think in our conversation, you mentioned 2 times your ex-wife. So any point of time have you feel कि यार मेरा relationship ने मेरे को काम में बढ़ने नहीं दिया?
Fortunately, no. In fact, that, like I said, the first person I could think of when you asked me that question about, who gave you that motivation, I would say my ex-wife. Obviously, there are so many stories of people having responsibilities. Sometimes people don't get the reason behind why people take some steps. Like one photographer friend of mine, he also, just with me, he left the company, he left his high-paying job to become a photographer. And he has a wife and kids. And whenever I would meet him for shoots, he will talk about, I need more projects, yaar. I need to get at least my base minimum covers met. How much did you plan before taking this jump? He said, I didn't plan that way. I had a passion, so I left. I said, I don't think that's the right way. That's where you need to know that how much you're making from your company, how much savings you have. At least give yourself 6 months to have that freedom that whatever happens, even if I don't get a single job, I will be taken care of. My family will be taken care of. So these are some factors you have to consider.
मतलब in India, तो every clients want a Netflix quality, but the budget is low. How you maintained, how you handled those clients?
I love this question. So see, cricket. Okay, there are so many formats of cricket, right? From gully cricket to international cricket.
Correct.
Now, the difference is the scale, the resources that are required to make gully cricket to international cricket. So now the main thing is that when we come in, we have to explain the gap. We have to explain to the client that, listen, when we come in, this is what you're going to get. Now, the same story can be told in every kind of form. There's this movie called Blair Witch Project, film completely shot on video cam, that handheld cam. Shaky footage. It's just all over the place, but it made millions in the box office. Why? Because of a great story. And the story was about this group of people who are lost in the forest and they find a ghost. So the shakiness of the camera helped. It gave the authenticity to the story. So then it made millions. But then after that, the production of that company said that now we have made the money, now we'll do a bigger budget of the same kind of story. And that flopped. Because this cameras was the great, good looking cameras, stable footage and everything. But that originality was gone. So when we speak to a client, first, what we focus on the story. And then we very clearly explain what cameras we will be using, what equipment. And we are very true to what resources we bring to the table. And I think that's very important to set expectations before you even start. And I'm sure that, as a production company of yourself, the manner in which you speak to a client, it's not just about what resources you bring. You have to first see, you're telling a brand story. So a brand story is someone's hard work that they have put in for like 10, 15, 20 years. They have put in that blood and sweat to make that company. And now they're coming to you for a 2-minute video. So you have to give them that feeling that you understand the pain that they've gone through to build this company. And you are able to capture all that, encapsulate all that in a 2-minute film.
Correct.
So that seriousness, if they see that you get that seriousness, a brand film is not a everyday marketing tool. That brand film will stay on your website for years. So that's why it's very important to communicate that to the client effectively. So this is not about the Netflix style or what kind of equipment you bring. It's the expectations.
Because sir, why are you leaving Namma Bengaluru?
Life needs to slow down overall for everyone, not just for myself. I feel everyone is really on their toes. And I think the stress is really getting to everyone. We are forgetting our health in all this. So I feel that I need to slow down. That way I can able to have a bigger perspective.
But you told me that you are still figuring it out, right? So अगर आपको chance मिले 10 year, 20 year back जाने का, what things you will change in your life?
What would I change? Nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But I mean, why would I change anything?
But you told ना you are still figuring it out. अगर आज आपको मिले कि आप बैक जाओ 10 साल पहले और आप चीज़ें चेंज करना चाहो और आप ऐसी ज़िंदगी चाहते हो, तो what thing you will change?
I honestly feel that there is nothing I would change about the way I lived my life, because the life trajectory that I've seen from this dreamer school kid, year down in college, starting a job in Microsoft, thinking his life is set, then suddenly if you know this is not his life, then he starts something in his creative space. I mean, and the kind of exposure that I've gotten everywhere, I feel, why would I change anything?
What is more important? A client network is more important or talent is more important?
I think for anyone in the creative space, whether it's a production company or you're a freelancer, the first thing you should think about is how to build trust with. I honestly don't know the real difference between clients or your own team, really, because trust is about how you are as a person. You have to be you have to have that integrity towards building connects.
How you got your first client?
I just reached out to my friend and asked him. I knew it was his wedding coming up, so I asked him, "Can I shoot your wedding for free?"
For free.
For free.
That is the more important.
Yeah, and for free, obviously. And he was like, "I didn't even think of getting a wedding videographer. Come on board."
Achha, anything has been changed from last 10 year in video production unit, or it is same thing before 10 year or now in 2025? Everything is same, or what things has been changed?
10 years ago, the landscape was very different, to be honest. Like when I started, everyone was either into these big budget ad films, broadcast level quality, and like, this concept of reels and all that was not there. And these quick product videos and these quick, right now, fast forward to 10 years later, now we have everyone, even the brands themselves are shooting on their own.
So high budget or strong story, what works?
See, I know everyone will say strong story works, but as a production company, no, the real truth is high budget, because everyone in the team should be happy. If the team is happy, honestly, the creativity also, everything comes through. So I feel that you should take care of your team as much as you take care of your client.
So you came into the founder's dream, and there are so many aspiring founders are watching us. If somebody wants to start their own ad agency or video production agency, what one suggestion you will give to them? How to start it?
I think you should start small. Start small. Don't have big dreams. Don't have, like, everyone, when I used to interview interns, or when I would interview anyone who wants to come into the team, first thing they say, I want to be a director. And they don't really know the aspects of being a director. See, a director, when they come on board, they should have some ground expertise of what it's like to be in a production, what it's like to be as an editor, how to communicate to the editor, because communication is key. How would a director even be able to communicate to the team if they do not know the ground basics of cinematography, editing? So that's why I feel that everyone, when they come in, they want to be a director. But I'm like, start small. If you tell me what your real passion is, if your passion is frames, then come into cinematography or photography. If your passion is storytelling, either go into script writing or go into editing. Editing also, you can tell a story in a very effective way. With, like, I'm an editor, to be honest. I think
You are an editor with good communication skills. That's why you are successful. So do you believe that communication skills matters in the video production?
absolutely, absolutely. I always say that as an editor, you need to be great in communication, because it's in when you're editing even an interview, as simple as an interview, you can literally combine sentences into a short, crisper form if your communication is good. Because if the editor's communication is not good, then the problem is it's a long drawn edit, and that can get very boring. And so you have to creatively combine these things together. Even in brand storytelling also, the editor's communication, I'm not just talking about the verbal language. I'm talking about even his way to communicate visually. When should you bring a transition? When should you bring a hard cut or a dissolve? All these things matter in a story. You can't just do it because it's cool. You do it because it has some meaning to it. See, when you have a long dissolve, it means that there's a long stretch of time that's passed. If you're doing a hard cut, it's maybe a match cut, or you're doing something to hide, So, I mean, I can get technical, but um,
How's your experience with the celebrities working with them? Any myth about them? How they treat you guys on the side?
I think, the biggest myth is that, they're very intimidating, and you need to be very, be careful about, what you should do when and this and that. Of course, you have to be professional, but I think at the end, they're just people. They're just people. And all of them are also just, when they've come for a shoot, they're also looking for a good time. They're also looking for a smooth experience. So if I have to give an example, Sunil Chhetri, these are certain kinds of personalities. They are very self-aware, very perceptive of what's going on around them. They're very punctual, and they're very hands-on. They want to know what's going on. Okay? When Sunil Chhetri or Trevor Noah, all these guys are there, you have to make sure that the team also understands the urgency. Even if one person in our team slacks off, is showing like some lazy, lethargic body language, it can literally set the talent off, and the shoot can go in the opposite direction. So then there's another side, that for a wedding, when it's a wedding, when it's a bride and a groom, they're all laughing and having a good time at a wedding. You don't want a serious cinematographer just looking at them the entire time, looking at the frame. Then that's my job, is to come in and tell them to relax, yeah. So always read the room. Always be, so, handling celebrities, it's like a balancing act of creativity and also of professionalism and reading the room. So creative control. So, when you cannot just demand creative control. That doesn't come. You cannot demand creative control. You have to earn it. And you have to earn it by reading the room. So these things come really into play. That sometimes what happens is you lose the balancing act. Sometimes if you show, as a director, if you show some hesitancy or you show some, you're not certain of this particular plan of your own, then the creative control shifts to the client. Then they will take over. And you don't want that. So you should really be very aware of these things.
इनको तो आपको सिखाना पड़ता होगा ना कि ऐसे बात करना है, ऐसे बोलना है, because these are the attitude.
This is one very interesting thing what happened. Sunil Chhetri was setting up for the interview and he started talking and I was just like, 1 second, sir, just 1 second. His hair was thoda, so I just straightened it. I just put it, straightened it. And he's like, why are you doing that? I'm like, no, it was just pointing out. He's like, who sees all this? Yaar? Kaun dekhta hai ye sab? So then I said, see, when you score a goal, you know, sometimes your leg mishits the ball and the ball still goes for a goal. Everyone cheers in the stadium. But you know that your leg mishit the ball. And you feel shit, yeah. Same thing what we feel. We know that maybe no one will even notice. But we know because we have that filmmaking frame in mind. So we know, yeah, nahi. So that's just for art. And he looked at me and he's like, nice.
निखिल सर, आप तो ये बताओ कि स्मॉल एजेंसी को एक बिग ब्रांड क्लोज करना है, लाइक माइक्रोसॉफ्ट, गूगल, यूट्यूब ही ऑनबोर्ड करना है, हाउ दे विल गेट इट डन?
So, to answer your question, there's no real mantra or philosophy of this is how to land a big client, whether you're big or small. I'll give you an example that, out of nowhere, I was in the office and I got a call from a photographer, a wedding photographer, saying, I have a client and I need a videographer. So I'm like, okay, who's the client? And they're like, Liverpool Football Club. I'm like, okay. And they need one videographer. He's like, हाँ यार, budget नहीं है. So in the moment I heard Liverpool Football Club, I'm like, don't take one, take 3. I sent them 3 cinematographers for the price of 1. I went as a creative director. I had a on-spot editor also. We went to the location. This was in Whitefield. They had come for a huge road show. And we went one day earlier. We did a location recce. We took some teaser footage. We edited on the spot. We sent them a teaser even before meeting them. The next day we met their team, the Liverpool Football Club team. And they had their own production unit. They had these big cameras. They had their full crew in jerseys. And I'm like, wow. And that's when I realized, okay, we are like an underdog. That feeling I had, I was like, man, this is where I want to be. I want to be working with these guys. And I would call this manifestation or what, but I'll tell you what, that entire shoot, all these 3 guys who we got for the job, they had the same feeling that I had. Even my communication, my body language changed because I realized this manifestation was so strong that the way I communicated to the team was, this is it, guys. This is that good moment you're talking about. Make the most of this. And we killed it. We were like easily a standout in everyone's eyes. And that extra effort, pushing the boundary, doing something extra for the client, they took notice of that. Then they took us to Mumbai. They called us to Jakarta, Seoul, Dubai. That's when we met Steven Gerrard. And there was this huge event for some 3,000 people, a live screening of our video. And that moment was my cherry on the cake kind of a moment. So I just feel like, to answer your question, how do you land a big client? There's no real formula. It's like you have to recognize these moments and make the most out of it. You're in the creative space. You cannot just treat it like a job, like a tick box. This is something that you're doing this for your passion. So remind yourself.
निखिल सर, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर कमिंग इन दिस शो.
Oh, thank you.
काफ़ी मज़ा आपसे बात करके. बट मैं एक लास्ट मैसेज ऑडियंस को देता हूँ. इंडिया में क्या है कि ना, बिजनेस करने का एस्पिरेशन तो बहुत होता है, बट एक माइंडसेट होता है कि हम क्लाइंट्स को कैसे ढूंढेंगे, पैसा कैसे कमाएंगे, बिजनेस कैसे बनाएंगे. सिर्फ एक ही आंसर है. 50 ईमेल भेजने हैं, 100 ईमेल भेजने हैं, 500 लोगों से मिलना है. जस्ट गेट इट डन. वो करते रहोगे और उस मूवमेंट को जीते रहोगे. चाहे फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट काम करना पड़े पहले, तो वो करना पड़ेगा. अगर वो नहीं किया तो शायद लाइफ में आपको नए प्रोजेक्ट नहीं मिल पाएंगे. करना है तो करना है, और नहीं करना तो एंजॉय नौकरी.
Thank you, man. That was well said, sir.
काफ़ी मज़ा आया आपके साथ बात करके मुझे
Thank you so
एंड
much.
इट वाज अ ग्रेट कन्वर्सेशन. आई थिंक आई हैव डिकोड योर माइंडसेट कि लिव योर लाइफ ऑन द प्रेजेंट मोमेंट. एवरीथिंग जो आपने मैनिफेस्टेशन की बात कही, दैट इज़ ए वन वर्ड फॉर एवरी क्वेश्चन कि मैनिफेस्ट करते रहो और अपनी ज़िंदगी जीते रहो, काम चलता रहेगा, लाइफ सेट रहेगी. बट आप स्टिल फिगरिंग आउट कर रहे हो. जब आपको मिल जाए कोई तो एक मुझे मैसेज ड्रॉप कीजिएगा
I will.
कि आई गॉट इट.
I will. Thank you.
थैंक यू सो मच.
Thank you so much.